So now, having delved into the life of Temujin, the rise of Genghis Khan, and the waves of horror he unleashed, we stand at a crossroads of memory. He was neither pure monster nor mere mortal. He was the child of the steppe, hardened by cruelty, who transformed himself into a storm. He ruled by terror, and his empire was written in blood. Let his story be more than legend. Let it be a warning. Power without mercy becomes tyranny, and conquest without conscience becomes ruin. If this video stirred something in you, anger, grief, disbelief, then share it. Let the horror of the past speak to the present. Subscribe to Enforced Adl so you never forget what history demands of us. Until next time, may Allah, the Lord of Glory, guide us to truth.
Our story begins in 1162 in the remote village of Dilun Bulldog, north of the Onar River. Temujin was born into the Borjigin clan of Mongols. Legends whisper that a clot of blood was found in his infant hand, an omen, they said, of violence, of greatness, of fate. His father, Yasuge, was a respected tribal leader, but in the harsh world of the steppes, respect did not guarantee safety. When Temujin was only 9, his father Yasuge was poisoned by rival Tartars. He died far from home, leaving behind his widow, Holen, and young children in a cold, unforgiving land. With no protector, Temujin's clan turned away. He, his mother, and his siblings were abandoned, forced into subsistence, scavenging for food, hiding from predatory tribes, hunger, cold, betrayal. These became his early teachers. A boy who should have been cared for instead became an orphan of the steppe. Survival demanded cunning. Trust was a weakness, and in that crucible, the first seeds of ruthless resolve were planted.
In those desperate years, Temujin committed his first act of violence. Some accounts say he killed his half-brother or rival over a dispute about food or favor. The act shocked many, but in that world, any edge could be the difference between life and death. As he grew, Temujin began forging alliances, not by birthright, but through loyalty, merit, mutual need. He gathered men from the fringes, exiles, small clan warriors, those disillusioned with old tribal feuds. He promised them justice, shared honor, and a future. One turning moment, his marriage to Borte Khatum. It was not a simple union of hearts. In those times, women were bargaining chips in political games. But Borte was different to him. When she was kidnapped by a rival tribe, Temujin launched a daring rescue mission. He assembled what forces he could, stormed their captors' lands, and recovered her. Those scars remain on both sides. That episode changed him. Personal anguish transformed into ambition. He resolved not just to reclaim Borte, but to claim power itself.
In the early 1200s, Mongol society was fragmented, tribal feuds, shifting loyalties, old hatreds. But Temujin had a plan. He rejected the old order of blood and status. Instead, he demanded loyalty rooted in merit. He rewarded skill and punished betrayal harshly. In 1206, at a great assembly, a Kurultai, Temujin was proclaimed Genghis Khan, ruler of all beneath heaven. He stood not as a tribal warlord, but as the supreme ruler of a new Mongol nation. He reorganized society, commanders chosen for competence, not birth, laws codified, administrative posts created. The Mongol horde became something new, not merely raiders, but a disciplined war machine guided by strategy, terror, and swift mobility. Genghis Khan's might lay not just in armies, but in the instrument of fear. His strategies were ruthless and psychological. Cities that resisted were annihilated. Cities that surrendered were sometimes spared, but their captives were used as warnings. He employed siege technology, catapults, flaming arrows, diversion of rivers. He unleashed famine. Fields were scorched. He flung disease-laden corpses over walls to infect offenders. Perhaps no campaign exemplifies his cruelty more than the Khwarezmian campaign. In 1218, Genghis Khan sent a caravan of merchants into the Khwarezmian Empire to foster trade, but the government suspected espionage. Their governor, Inalchuk, seized the caravan and executed them. When Genghis Khan sent envoys, the Shah of Khwarezm ignored him and reportedly even beheaded one envoy and sent his head back. That
insult unleashed devastation. Genghis launched a full invasion. Cities that resisted were burned to dust. He declared that resistance was not mere defiance, it was blasphemy.
In 1221, 2 cities suffered genocide at Mongol hands. In Nishapur, Genghis's daughter's husband, Tukachar, was killed in battle. In revenge, Tulawi, his son, was ordered to utterly destroy the city. Over days, houses were stormed, inhabitants dragged from hiding. Women, children, men, no one was spared. Some chronicles mention 1,747,000 killed, skulls piled in pyramids, even animals slain. In Merv, after the city surrendered, Tulawi and other Mongol units betrayed that surrender. The slaughter began. Persian chroniclers claim 700,000 corpses. Some estimates reach 1.3 million. Each Mongol soldier was said to be ordered to kill hundreds. Genghis is described as sitting on a golden throne, watching the execution of those brought before him while others wailed. These were not just battles. They were annihilations. They were messages painted in blood.
The Mongol war machine knew no moral boundary. Some tactics recorded use prisoners as front lines, living shields for Mongol archers to fire from behind, poisoning crops, diverting rivers to flood or starve cities, post-slaughter displays, towers of skulls, walls painted with blood, markets where corpses rotted, burning libraries, destroying manuscripts, erasing cultural heritage. Some say rivers ran black with ink from books dumped into them. Every conquest was total, complete. Cities ceased to exist. Generations erased.
Yet, amid the horror, historians caution many numbers are inflated. For example, the claim that Genghis killed 1,748,000 in 1 hour is physically impossible. Some massacre figures were exaggerated by his enemies or by chroniclers seeking shock. Still, even if we reduce the numbers, the scale of destruction is undeniable. Cambridge historians refer to these acts as genocidal massacres, not to excuse them, but to understand their systematic nature. In some cases, Genghis spared those who surrendered early, but those who resisted were doomed. His policy, submit or perish. Thus, we must carry both truths, that some claims are exaggerated, but also that he commanded crimes of brutal magnitude.
In August 1227, Genghis Khan died, not by record of a grand battle, but by whisper and mystery. Some claim he fell from his horse and succumbed to wounds. Others suspect assassination or poisoning. The truth is lost to time. He requested he be buried in secret. His funeral was said to be a macabre ritual. Slaves who buried him were killed. Their killers then murdered. Anyone who saw the procession was silenced, and no one knows the tomb's location. In death, as in life, he remained elusive, an enigma. His empire, however, did not vanish. His son, Ogedei, became Great Khan. The Mongol horde surged onward, crushing more lands, shaping trade, influencing culture.
Genghis Khan's shadow looms large. Genetically, studies suggest up to 16 million men today could carry his Y chromosome legacy. In many Muslim lands, Persia, Central Asia, his name is remembered not as liberator, but as destroyer. He appears in poet laments, sermons, folklore, as the Scourge of God. Yet, his reign also opened trade across the Silk Road, connected east and west. Some cite Pax Mongolica, a forced peace, as stimulating exchange of ideas, technology, religion. Still, no grand good erases the blood. The cities razed, the families torn, the cultures shattered. These remain wounds in history's flesh. We must remember Genghis Khan not as legend, but as a man with ambitions so vast it consumed countless innocents. We must resist sanitizing him into myth without cost.
So now, having delved into the life of Temujin, the rise of Genghis Khan, and the waves of horror he unleashed, we stand at a crossroads of memory. He was neither pure monster nor mere mortal. He was the child of the steppe, hardened by cruelty, who transformed himself into a storm. He ruled by terror, and his empire was written in blood. Let his story be more than legend. Let it be a warning. Power without mercy becomes tyranny, and conquest without conscience becomes ruin. If this video stirred something in you, anger, grief, disbelief, then share it. Let the horror of the past speak to the present. Subscribe to Inforest Adel so you never forget what history demands of us. Until next time, may Allah, the Lord of Glory, guide us to truth.